Hello there and welcome back to some more Grand Theft Auto 3. Today we're continuing on Let's Play. This is episode 31. In today's episode we are taking a look at the Firefighter mission for Shoreside Vale. The fire engine spawns at the airport just opposite the very famous Shoreside Vale airport car park, where pretty much all of the import-export mission takes place. And hey, guess what? It's time for Firefighter again. Do you know how Firefighter works? Good, let's skip all of this. So yeah, anyways, as usual, you press the R3 button to activate, you drive around the city putting out fires on vehicles, and after 20 you have completed it. Of course, now on Shoreside Vale, if you have completed 20 on Portland and 20 on Staunton, as you should have, and indeed how I have, this will be the last time you have to do this. Now, a couple of things worth mentioning with Firefighter. Much like on Staunton Island, I would recommend sort of cancelling and redoing this one over and over again. Shoreside Vale is split up into two areas. You sort of have the Wichita Gardens, sort of this sort of projects style area and sort of the nicely looking area, and then you have sort of Pike Creek Industrial and the airport. If either of those sort of link to this, or rather, if you get a call from one side of the map to go to the other side of the map, chances are you can kiss any hope of doing it goodbye. Again, it's really just a case of pressing R3 over and over and over again until you can get one to spawn nicely, then you'll get on a little bit of a rhythm and then fail. So yeah, that's in usual normal Firefighter tactics, and that's the way this one is playing out. One thing worth mentioning about Firefighter this time round though, of course, we did the Shoreside Vale import-export a couple of episodes ago. Next episode is going to be the Portland import-export, and one thing to keep your eye out if you are sort of doing this game in the same order that I am, is to keep your eyes open for a Mr. Whoopie during the Firefighter missions. If you can get one of those to spawn, which I did in the end, I ended up stashing that in my safe house for safe keepings, because that is the best way to go about it. But yeah, other than that, secure car maybe, if you keep your eyes peeled for one of those, but I don't think they really spawn during Firefighter. Other than the terrain though, this really is no more challenging than your usual Firefighter. This isn't something like Vigilante, which actually does ramp up in difficulty here on Shoreside Vale. This is a pretty simple, easy procedure to go about and do. I didn't even have the sirens on this time apparently, must have forgotten about them. To be fair, I think I was streaming while doing this, so I probably didn't want to give everyone in the stream, well, deafness like I got when I was doing paramedic forever and ever and ever. But yeah, it's easy, it's Firefighter, it's self-explanatory. If you lose track of how many fires you put out because you are doing the R3 tactic so many times, simply go ahead, pause the game, and you will see total fires extinguished. Keep an eye on that stat and that will tick down, and yeah. Other than that, not really too much else to report. You'll get lucky occasionally like I did here, and then immediately get unlucky with something spawning in Pike Creek. But if you can get them to spawn in, you know, Cedar Grove, Wichita Gardens on this side, you're alright. If you're on the other side, keep an eye out for Pike Creek and the airport, and that's pretty much the way to play Firefighter. But yeah, pretty easy. If you end up drowning the truck, like I would do later on, or something else bad happens to the truck, just keep an eye on that airport spawn point. You will always find a fire truck there. If it doesn't spawn in, simply go around the block and return and it will spawn. The fire engine is never locked to my, or in my research, I've never seen the fire engine ever be locked, so it isn't too hard of a vehicle to grab a hold of. Anyways, are we coming to the end of this fast-forwarded footage because I'm bored of speaking about Firefighter already? I think we are actually. I would end up drowning the truck because I'm really smart, so I had to go pick up a new one. And there's my Mr. Whoopie, so I decided to grab that before continuing. And finally, then I got another fire engine and completed the final fire, which was here in Pike Creek. I did have the sirens on this time apparently. So wee woo your way through traffic, make it to that fire, put it out, and then finally, after putting out all 60 fires on each island, you get a nice, wonderful pager message telling you that you've got a flamethrower at your safe house. Yeah, you know, one of the most useless weapons in the game? That's what you get for all of this. You get a flamethrower. I'm not joking. If you're not going for 100%, I really wouldn't bother with Firefighter. considering this is really, other than monetary, this is the only reward you get from it. The flamethrower is somewhat cool, I guess, but it can't really kill people with much range. There's a chance you'll set yourself on fire with it, and it can't really do anything to vehicles other than tanks. Tanks it can get through, but to be honest with you, I think the Molotov cocktail might actually be a better weapon to use against the tank. But anyways, that is Firefighter fully done and dusted here in Grand Theft Auto 3, so I do hope you've enjoyed this episode of Let's Play. Next time, we are going to be taking a look at the Portland Harbour Import-Export, so join us for that. Until then, farewell.
Feels like I just can't take no more.